Kyurem-White had some decent success in Generation 8's competitive restricted format with the access to Dynamax. It doesn't have Dynamax anymore, but with Snow having a bit of a mechanic change with the option to increase the physical defense by 1.5 under Snow for ice types, it's interesting to see how well an Assault Vest Kyurem-White could tank attacks. We're going to be trying out a Kyurem-White and Primarina team and seeing how well they can perform. This is a Snow team with Kyurem-White and Alolan Ninetales. The idea of the team to get really strong blizzards off with the Kyurem-White, able to go for those 100% accurate blizzards and dish out a lot of damage. With the Assault Vest, Kyurem-White has some pretty decent bulk. The only weakness it's had in the past really is its ice typing, which isn't the greatest defensive typing. However, it is a really good offensive typing, and with the Snow increase in Generation 9, being able to increase the physical defense on this side, you have the Assault Vest covering the special side, and then the Snow increasing the physical defensive side, makes it so it's able to tank attacks really well with its really high base HP. It has access to Icy Wind, which is really nice for speed control, Blizzard that does a lot of damage and always hits under the Snow. We have Earth Power for really strong coverage, and Freeze Dry that's able to hit water type mons like Water Urshifu, Wellspring Ogerpon, and Kyogre. To help support the Kyurem, because it's not exactly the fastest mon out there, we have the Tailwind Tornadus. And if you don't want to bring Ninetales in the game, if you want to go full on Tailwind commitment, you also have Snowscape on the Tornadus that's able to set up the Snow for the Kyurem-White, so it can always hit that Blizzards, and of course does increase its physical defense. We also have the Darker Shifu standard focus sash to help out against the Calyrex Shadow Riders out there, and a few others, able to hit Incineroar 2 with the close combat that can tank a Blizzard. The Wellspring Ogerpon able to dish out quite a bit of damage, having the water and the grass coverage. Follow Me support that also helps out the Kyurem. And Primarina is an interesting pick here with the Calm Mind, able to take the Calyrex Ice Riders attacks pretty well, especially under the Aurora Veil, and set up the Calm Minds that can dish out a lot of damage with the Hyper Voice and Moonblast afterward. Finally, this Ninetales set, a standard light clay Ninetales, this one just running Icy Wind for more speed control to help out support the Kyurem, and running Encore to punish any fake outs or any really support moves that aren't attacks that can set up for the Kyurem and makes it hard for the opponent to stop. If you'd like to check out the details of the team and the creator, they'll be linked in the description down below. All right, we have Urshifu, Incineroar, Golden Go, Calyrex Ice Rider, Amoonguss, and Pelipper. This is a team that did very well and won a huge online tournament. I forget which one. I think it was Victory Road. This is kind of difficult. What's funny is that Primarina is actually really good against this team, though. So I think Primarina is going to be a pretty key member. I don't know if they're going to bring Pelipper. I would assume they do, because I don't think they want me to get Aurora Veil up. Darker Shifu is really good here. I would love to get the Snow up, but that also does increase the defense of the... It does increase the defense of the Calyrex, which is not super pleasant. I don't think Torn is really it. It's okay, but I don't think it's that amazing. I like Primarina. I like Urshifu. Question is, do I want Ninetales or not? Because Ninetales, Aurora Veil is really good, but it's very hard to set up, I think, in this game. And I don't mind having Rain because it does boost up the power of Primarina. So you know what? I'm going to leave Primarina plus Urshifu, because Urshifu pressures the Calyrex, which is a pretty big deal. I have Kyurem and Wellspring in the back. I want Wellspring because I want the redirection, especially against the Amoonguss, because I don't want Primarina to get spored. One of the tough parts about this matchup is probably just going to be like how much does the Calyrex snowball, and especially next to Amoonguss, like that's going to be a bit of a problem next to each other. So I need a position where I can make sure I don't get spored like consistently. We're going to see Calyrex and Incineroar, which is completely fine actually, as I do lead the Urshifu plus the Primarina. And this is probably, I would say, Fake Out goes out into Urshifu. I don't think you really want to risk Urshifu attacking here. The plays I could see, if you expect me to be like a Terra Ghost set on the Urshifu for some reason, which Ladder does like actually, they can go for switching to Calyrex and maybe like a knockoff or something. But I am expecting probably just Fake Out into Urshifu, break a potential Focus Sash. You don't want to risk Choice Band, and just go for a Trick Room. So I'm going to call Mind, and I'm just going to switch to Ogerpon. The reason I'm going to make this play is just because then I'm going to have Primarina set up in a good spot. So let's see what they decide to do afterward. Okay, bring out the Ogerpon. Oh, we see a Terra committed immediately, which I'm actually kind of surprised about. But what Terra is this? It's going to be the Calyx. Okay. What's interesting to know is because they Terra'd into ice, they do resist my Hyper Voice, but that also means that they are also going to be vulnerable to my Kyurem-White. So I was surprised they chose to commit to Terra immediately, but this is kind of acceptable as Trick Room does go up. I think the big question is how problematic is Amoonguss going to be coming up in the future turns, but I don't mind the Calyx again Terra'd because I do have a Kyurem-White in the back. So I am going to go for a Calm Mind, I think, with Primarina and Spiky Shield. I could double protect, but I feel like that doesn't get me much momentum. So I'd rather just go for a Spiky Shield because Primarina is not going to take too much damage from Incineroar and the Calyx. Maybe a Parting Shot comes out, but I don't think that's like huge deal. So let's see what they decide to click here. Gonna be Glacial Lance, which is not too surprising. Gonna be dishing out the damage. I don't know if we can PowerPoint stall the Calyx, but we'll see. Does a decent amount of damage to Primarina, but Primarina hangs on. We're actually going to see Primarina is actually faster than the Incineroar under Trick Room, which is actually a pretty big deal. Which means that potentially if we could get a... Oh, they Parting Shotted the Wellspring Ogerpon. Okay. Not something I would have expected, but that actually works out huge for us. I'll definitely take that. I'll definitely take that. I like the idea of setting up another Calm Mind. I could protect Primarina, but I don't really see a point of it, at least this turn. So I'm going to Calm Mind with Primarina, and they probably swap here into Amoonguss. They're probably trying to Parting Shot on Amoonguss. I do need chip damage into Amoonguss. So I kind of like the idea of going for the Ivy Cudgel into the Incineroar. I don't want to Hyper Voice just yet because it's not going to KO Incineroar at this range anyway from full. Look at how much damage Glacial Lance does. Jeez, it's just insane. A Calm Mind will be set up here with Primarina. All right. As we're going to see Parting Shot. They target the Wellspring Ogerpon. They are really disrespecting this Primarina, but I mean, I don't think I mind that too much. Yeah, I definitely don't mind that too much. Let's see who they bring out. How much did they do to my Primarina? Like 120, I think. So if I Terra, I do survive. Pelipper comes in. That's really... Huh. I was not expecting Pelipper to come in. I'll take it. Because it's a free Ivy Cudgel off into Pelipper. Okay. I like the play of just going for a Moonblast into Pelipper and protect the... Or I could Hyper Voice. Do I want to Hyper Voice? Because this is... Nah, I'd rather just Moonblast the Pelipper, I think. I would like damage on Calyx, though, actually. Pelipper's not going to Wide Guard here either. I think Hyper Voice in range should KO Pelipper. Pelipper has really bad special defense. So you know what? I'm going to go for Spiky Shield again with the Ogerpon, and I'm going to go for Hyper Voice because I want the damage onto Calyx. You might be thinking, James, aren't you kind of insane for never, like, protecting the Primarina? And sure, yeah, I kind of am. They clicked Wide Guard in this situation? Oh, I could have got a free Moonblast KO. That's fine still, I suppose. Yeah, they go for another Glacial Lance. I'm just surprised that they're letting me get these. I could have got a free Moonblast KO here. All right. I mean, I still think that this is a pretty acceptable position regardless. I just get... I mean, it's... The problem is, I think they get Incineroar in the next turn, and then it gets a little bit annoying. I want to protect the... I do want to protect here with my Primarina. I'm going to go hard Kyurem. I wish Kyurem resisted ice right now. It'd be so nice here. I think hard into Kyurem makes a lot of sense. Yeah, I'm going to go hard Kyurem. The reason I'm going to go hard Kyurem is because I need a way to pressure the Calyx, and Moonblast Freeze Drive will do that. I should live one Glacial Lance easily with the Kyurem. So, let's see. They didn't switch to Incineroar on this last turn, which I thought they could have, so they have Fake Out Pressure. Maybe it's just another Wide Guard. Yeah, they just keep Wide Guarding, which is fine. Okay. Like, I don't mind them spamming wide guard here. They're going to go for another Glacial Lance. This is Glacial Lance number 4. Yeah, they've just been spamming Glacial Lance. So this is Glacial Lance number 4. This does so much damage. All right, Primarina is decently healthy. Do I want to go for Hyper Voice to cover for an instant? Because there are 2 plays that I think they could make here, which is protecting Calyrex and going out an instant, or maybe they sack here. I think my play is just to Moonblast Freeze Dry to Calyrex, because there's also a chance they wide card here with the Pelipper again for some reason. So I will go for the Freeze Dry Moonblast. And it looks like they disrespected heavily. A Freeze Dry into Calyrex is huge damage. They go for Hurricane, but with the +2, or am I +3 now? I've lost count. But yeah, a big Moonblast off into Calyrex will pick up the knockout. And that is the demonic Pokemon gone. No Protect, no switch to Instant, not even a wide guard in case I had Blizzard, which I'm kind of shocked by, but okay. That ends up working out amazingly for me. Primarina getting that job of just resisting these Glacial Lances, getting to set up, which again, I'm surprised that they targeted. Oh, or Shifu comes in. Okay. That's a scary Pokemon to have here. That's for certain. Terra Fairy doesn't help me here, unfortunately. The Hurricane actually did do a lot of damage. Last turn of Rain, though. I think Protect is pretty ideal. And I think going out into... I'd say going on Urshifu is probably correct here. I'm going to go into Urshifu. I don't know if this is close combat or if this is going to be Surging Strikes coming out. If it's Surging Strikes, it might be better for me because then Ogerpon comes in because they're usually Choice Scarf on Urshifu on this team. I'd imagine this is close combat coming out here, but I didn't want to risk the Terra Fairy because I didn't have to just yet. They do go for close combat, which is fine. Okay. That is a-okay by me. And they go for the Hurricane. Okay. So now they have to risk hitting Hurricane as well, which is a big factor. Rain stops. I go for a lot of things here. I could go for Wicked Blow and a Pelipper. I could go for Close Combat or Shifu, which would pick up the knockout. Let's see if they hit the Hurricane, which is going to be a big deal. Maybe this actually was not the play now that I think about it. This might not have been the play. I think it might come down to hitting. But I'm going to go for a Moonblast into the Urshifu, and I think I am going to go for a Close Combat into Urshifu as well. Let's see. They Close Combated the Primarina. Okay. I wasn't sure if they were going to rely on the Hurricane there. That ends up working out really well because I could have Sucker Punched the Pelipper. It wasn't going to KO the Pelipper, but I felt like, okay, I can go for a Close Combat. I might have to take a risk the next turn, but I think that's okay. A Close Combat is going to come out into Urshifu. It does pick up the knockout there, so I'm feeling pretty good about the end game now, as we were able to eliminate the Urshifu. All right, nice. Weather Ball. Which is going to be... Well, I guess it's like a guaranteed way to hit. So they chose the ways to guarantee hit instead of risking the Hurricane there. Which I don't know if it KO'd the Primarina at that range. Maybe it could have been a roll there. But yeah, I'm just going out into Ogerpon, going out into Kyurem. This should be a very safe Ivy Cudgel into Incineroar. I actually want to double up the Incineroar because I know Incineroar can't protect. They already Terra'd. Pelipper should not be able to punish the Kyurem here. I think this is probably like Fake Out plus a Hurricane attempt, which is completely fine. I'm going to go for a Terra Water with Ogerpon because with the special defense boost and, you know, I get the extra power, I should be able to KO the Incineroar with the double up here easily. There's also a play I am worried about, which would be Protect Pelipper and Flare Blitz with Incineroar to Kyurem, which I think that could probably lose me the game. So I think this is a better way to guarantee to win. Or not guarantee to win, but I think it's better odds because if I do double up a Pelipper Protect, it's just so awful. Or even if I just go for a Freeze Dry and a Pelipper and they Protect and they go for the Flare Blitz, I think it's bad because they should live -1 Ivy Cudgel with the Incineroar. So I don't think that's ever worth me targeting here. So we will go for the Terra. They go for the Fake Out and Kyurem, which makes sense. It is a Freeze Dry threat here. The Ivy Cudgel will fire off into the Incineroar. Good damage. It wasn't a KO as we expected. They go for the Hurricane, but they miss here. And that's kind of the problem with Rain is once the Rain is done, Hurricane becomes a bit inaccurate. But yeah, we can win the game guaranteed, I think, with Freeze Dry into Ivy Cudgel here and guarantee to win. Because they already terrored the Calyx. Don't have to worry about any terrors. Oh, a little bit closer than I expected. I think I should have probably hard committed. If I expect close combat, I think Terra Fairy did win the game with my Kyurem, and I guess I did have the element of having the Wellspring Ogerpon in the back, so they couldn't really safely lock in a Freeze Strike. I was just worried if they read a Terra and they decided to go for Surging Strikes, because Surging Strikes in Rain might have knocked out the Kyurem on a resist anyway, so I was a little bit scared about that. But it was more likely they close combat because Wellspring Ogerpon is just such a bad punish there. It would put them in a really bad spot if I switched to Wellspring Ogerpon, I think, in that position in Moonblast or Shifu. So yeah, now that I think about it, I do think that terroring the Kyurem was probably better in that spot. But luckily, they played a bit too safe, and then I was able to get a knockout onto their Shifu, which was huge for me to win. Groudon, Gouging Fire, Rillaboom, Raging Bolts, the King Gambit, and Flutter Mane. All right, this is a very offensive team. Does rely a lot on the sun, but we do have snow, which is actually really good here. The only problem is their King Gambit's actually a pretty big threat. We do have our Shifu though, and our Shifu's a really good mon here. I would say my brings would be, I really like Torn or Shifu. The darker Shifu is actually really, really good here. The only problem is Flutter Mane can be a bit scary because I don't have any fairy resist with the team, but it should be manageable. I'm gonna go with Torn and or Shifu, I think, or do I want to go Torn and Kyurem? Torn and Kyurem is not a bad lead either, but the King Gambit's a really big problem, so I think I'm gonna bring her Shifu. And then in the back, I'm gonna go with Kyurem and the Ninetales, I think. Yeah, Primarina could be really good with Tailwind, but the thing is the Rillaboom's pretty threatening. I don't know if I'm exactly able to get, like, it's the thing about Primarina is unless you have a Calm Mind set up, it doesn't do that much damage, and it seems pretty offensive where I don't think I could get a Calm Mind, especially with the Tailwind route I'm going for. First, the Raging Bolt, Flutter Mane. Okay. Against my Urshifu plus Tornadus. So this isn't a great lead, but it's acceptable. I have a few options I can go for. They're probably going to go for... How much do I ever want to Terra? I feel like I don't need to Terra. I'm only concerned that this might be a bad position if I get double knocked out here, because I don't know if they're going to Terra Fairy or not. I think my best play is probably just a Tailwind here with Torn and just go for a Detect and scout for like a Terra Fairy from one of these Pokemon. And yeah, we are going to see the Terra Fairy. It looks like it's going to be on the Flutter Mane, which is a-okay. Okay. So I don't mind the Flutter Mane going for the Terra. I don't mind the Flutter Mane going for the Terra just because, yeah, like if I went for a Tailwind Wicked Blow there into the Flutter Mane, would have been not great. Would have not been great. Tailwind will come out. Thunderclap into, it might have been into her Shifu. They might have been trying to go for the, wait, they Moonblasted too? What? All right. I mean, I was expecting Torn to go down here. It did not. That's actually kind of weird. That is really weird. I would like to keep Torn if possible for Tailwind, so I actually think Ninetales might be the better call here. And just gonna go for a Wicked Blow into the Flutter Mane since I'm not too fearful of the Raging Bolt currently. I want the damage in the Flutter Mane for sure. And then I'm going to bring Ninetales because it might bait out the Groudon in the following turn. Because I'm expecting maybe a double up here into the Urshifu. Pick up the knockout. No Thunderclap this time. A Wicked Blow and a Flutter. That does so much. Teradark would have just KO'd. Wow, that's a frail Flutter. Moonblast going to come out. Okay, it's into Urshifu. I'll definitely take that. What is that Flutter set? Because I'm trying to think. Maybe it's Sash. Because I don't think it's specs based on the damage. They go for Thunderbolt. Okay. That's pretty good for me, actually. I think I'm gonna switch out Ninetales so I can have this the pressure of just always have, because I think that this could be a Groudon swap. I'm gonna Sucker Punch attempt a Flutter. I think Flutter switches out in Groudon and they should like Thunderbolt or Thunderclap, but regardless, I don't think this is a bad strat for me here. I'm going hard Kyurem and then pressuring the Groudon, especially since they can't Terra anymore. So this is basically how I'm going to get my momentum here. They protect Flutter Mane, so they do have Protect. Okay. Sucker Punch into the Flutter. They go for Thunderbolt to pick up the knockout into the Urshifu. That's okay. Yeah, it probably is Sash Flutter then. That makes sense. Double checking my Kyurem. Am I faster than Flutter? I am faster than Speed Booster Flutter. That's good. Okay. I can go out into my Tornadus here then and click Blizzard easily. And then I think I go for Snowscape here. Yeah, I'm going to Snowscape to cover the Groudon switch in case they want inaccurate Blizzards to give them a better chance. I'm trying to think if it was worth going for the Terra, but I can't tell what this Bolt set is. Okay, Snowscape fails, but I mean, it doesn't really matter too much here. I am able to get the Blizzard off into the Flutter and the Raging Bolt. Good damage on the Raging Bolt, but it does look like it is the Assault Vest set. We do get rid of the Flutter. Let's see what they decide to do with the Raging Bolt. A Dragon Pulse is fine. I wish I kind of went for the Terra. Oh, I took more damage than I thought. Oh, that's why. I was like, with Assault Vest, I should take these attacks just okay. And then it crits me. Sure. But I guess that's a punish for not going for the Terra. Then again, I guess I didn't need Terra on Ninetales, now that I think about it. So yeah. Groudon going to come in. Oh, I can't Terra here. Oh, Thunderclap shouldn't knock me out because I have Assault Vest. But yeah, I mean, I'm going to get rid of Photosynthesis anyway with Blizzard. I guess the question is, will we KO the Groudon with Blizzard? That I'm not too sure of. But yeah, we are going to go for a Snowscape and a Blizzard. So Snowscape to bring out the snow once again. A Blizzard. Hopefully a strong Blizzard can do a lot. The Groudon doesn't have the best special defense in the world. It should be Assault Vest Raging Bolt. Good damage, but not enough for the Groudon. All right. Rock Slide. What dodged? Ooh, having a Kyurem dodge is actually really huge. Okay. I think we would have lit the combination to Dragon Pulse plus Rock Slide if they had not crit me. So that's 100% worth it. Would take it. Leftovers Groudon. I guess with Rillaboom, it kind of makes sense. I didn't want to Terra to Kyurem because I was worried about Rillaboom cleaning up with Grassy Glide. That's the reason why. Gouging Fire. All right, our Tailwind was gone from earlier. It's gonna come down to, the thing is, the Gouging Fire doesn't actually have the Photosynthesis, so I can go for Blizzard safely. I guess the question is, what am I doing with you? I always go for the Terra Fairy Blizzard because if it's Heat Crash, I don't think you can actually knock out Kyurem. I think I go for Icy Wind here. I'm just worried if it's Covert Cloak on the Gouging Fire. Do I Icy Wind or do I Aurora Veil? I'm going to Icy Wind. Let's see what the Gouging Fire does. Because I don't know if you even run Heat Crash anymore. Specifically just because of like the heavy restricteds right now. So you do less damage. So this might have been Flare Blitz. So maybe it was better. I don't think Aurora Veil was saving me from Flare Blitz though. We are going to see a Protect from Groudon. All right. Ninetales will be able to go for the Icy Wind here and hopefully ensure the speed factor. Well, actually, no. Kyurem was outspeeding max speed Gouging Fire. Regardless. It is Covert Cloak. That's good to confirm. All right. Big Blizzard into Gouging. Ooh, that's really good damage actually. But that might not matter. Okay, it's not Flare Blitz. I don't know what their move was. I don't think there was a move that saved them. Maybe Dragon Dance, but the thing is with Dragon Dance, I still got another Blizzard with Ninetales. But you know what? We take those. We absolutely take those. We go for a double blizzard. Yeah, I think I should have went for Aurora Veil, or I don't think Aurora Veil was the play. I think it was just double blizzard. It was Covert Cloak. That gouging fire is just frozen. This team is too cool for gouging fire. Yeah, the blizzard. Why do I feel like the icy wind did a bit more than half than the blizzard did? A blizzard is going to be able to kill gouging fire. That is the fun of snow. Okay, so the only mistake I think I made was I think I should have committed to Terra. The Terra on Ninetales could have maybe helped in the end game against Rillaboom. But yeah, when you think about it, like I wasn't sure to bring Rillaboom. I did have double water types, so I wasn't, and Grassy Glide I still felt like was pretty helpful. I wasn't expecting gouging there, but I guess it did make sense. But you know, our Blizzard. Calyx, Shadow Rider, Urshifu, Rillaboom, Raging Bolt, and Incineroar Moongus. A classic team that's running rampant right now. But we do have Kyurem-White and Snow, which this team actually really does not appreciate well. So definitely will take it. I don't know if there's... I think the questions are, A, is there Urshifu Scarf, which is a pretty big deal? Because that is going to be a good question. The Torn, I think, might be good, but in the back... Do I want to lead it? Because Raging Bolt's not that big of a problem. I kind of like the Torn or Urshifu lead. It puts on a lot of pressure. And then have Kyurem and then Ninetales in the back. So the things I have to watch out for are going to be the Water Urshifu. Calyx Shadow Rider, of course, can be really scary. I do have to be a bit fearful of the Raging Bolt because Calm Mind, Terra Fairy, Raging Bolt is actually a threat. Because if it sets up enough Calm Minds... and I don't have like Encore Lock with the Ninetales, or I didn't get a Taunt off in the Raging Bolt prior, well, then it would have gotten the Calm Mind boost. But yeah, Calm Mind Raging Bolt's actually decently scary just because with Terra Fairy, it should be able to tank the attacks pretty well for my team because I don't have really a good way to pressure any Terra Fairies on my side. And the Calyx's Terra Fairy is actually pretty scary as well because I can't break through it with my Urshifu as easily as I could. So those are two things I'm going to have to keep in mind. My idea game plan here is hopefully to set up for a Kyurem endgame and use my Urshifu to threaten some heavy damage, specifically into Incineroar and the Calyx, which are the big ones. But we'll find out. Horn's a good Pokemon here because I can just Bleak Wind through a lot of their team pretty safely. We're going to see Calyx and Incineroar. Okay, this is perfect. So I lead Torn Urshifu. I have Focus Sash on the Urshifu and I have the Covert Cloak on the Torn. This is a very safe Bleak Wind here. So I will go for Bleak Wind and I will go for a Detect turn 1 because it's super safe. Not so much that they could punish here. And if I could break a Sash on the Calyx, if they give me that option, it's really nice. So I will go for it. I'm expecting a switch if they have Raging Bolt in the back. But, and a Fake Out. Or maybe they Fake Out and do something with the Calyx, which is fine. The question is like what Terra is that Calyx because it's big. If it's Fairy, it's problematic. If it's Ghost, then it's like whatever because I still Wicked Blow through that mon. There is also a chance I go for close combat and Incineroar either reading the Calyx to switch out. Oh, we're gonna see a Terra immediately, so this might be Terra Fairy on the Calyx, which makes it harder to deal with. Yeah, we are gonna see a Terra from the Calyx. Oh, it's Terra Ghost. Are they going just trying to nuke the Torn immediately? Unless you're a Life Orb, I don't really see how you break through the Torn immediately. So Detect from the Urshifu. Fake Out does come out on Urshifu. If Calyx knocks out my Torn, like, we already know how broken this mon is. Astral Barrage. They should have Urshifu in the back, I think. Astral Barrage. How much do you do to Torn? Disgusting amount of damage. That wasn't Life Orb. Okay. So Bleak Wind. I break that Sash on Cali. Very important. Good damage. Speed drop. If it was in the Cali, it would have been more impactful. And Incineroar doesn't really matter here. I like the idea of getting a Tailwind up. And I think do I let the Calyx snowball? I think you should always switch out the Cali here. You should switch out the Cali. I want to go for a close combat in Incineroar because if I close combat the Incineroar, it does bring me closer to my goal. It's really bad if they decide to play super aggressive for some reason. You know what? I'm gonna close combat the Incineroar. I think there should be a swap from Cali always. Yeah, the Cali does swap here. Huge. Perfect. I don't think you should ever risk Cali in that game. It's so important. Rillaboom comes in. That makes sense. Perfect. Because I got the close combat in Incineroar. That's huge damage that I need to put on. And maybe it goes for a Wisp to turn into the Urshifu, which would not be great for me. So I just want big damage into Incineroar. Ooh, even a knockout. That is huge. Because getting a knockout into Incineroar sets me up so well. Okay, that's really big. I'll definitely take getting rid of that Incineroar here. Let's see who they decide to bring out next. If it's their own Urshifu, I go Ninetales and I click Bleak Wind. Yeah, Ninetales and click Bleak Wind makes the most sense to me. Urshifu comes in. Yep, it is Water Urshifu. They already Terra'd. We go for a Bleak Wind. I'm swapping here into Ninetales because Dark Urshifu still has a role. It can punish the Calyx very safely, which is really important. They can't Terra to get rid of their flying weakness. This might be Aqua Jet, or they might... I don't think Grassy Glide knocks out the Tornadus range. A double up would. But yeah, here comes the Snow. Aqua Jet, that's fair. Does pick up the knockout. I'm completely okay with that. Nice. Grassy Glide gonna come out, but I do have that Snow defense boost. Yep. I'm feeling pretty happy about this spot. I get to go out into Kyurem. They also Terra the Cali immediately, so the Rillaboom can't Terra anymore. So we bring out the floating Kyurem, baby, because we had a flying type in this slot. Our Kyurem is floating. The question is, I want to go for double Blizzard. I could just Aurora Veil too. Actually, Aurora Veil is super safe. I don't know if double Blizzard knocks out the Assault Vest Rillaboom. That's my only problem, because Rillaboom's a really bulky Pokemon. So you know what? I'm going to go for an Aurora Veil and a Blizzard. I don't want to Freeze Dry into an Urshifu Protect because I think that could be bad for me. It should be Mystic Water Urshifu though, based on the damage it did to Torn. I'm pretty sure it needs to be Mystic Water to pick up the KO. Aurora Veil will come out. Maybe I could have actually I could have Encored Urshifu and Aqua Jet too. That would have worked. Wow, that KOs the Rila. Is that crit? Not a crit. It's Miracle Seed Rillaboom. Okay. We go for close combat into the Kyurem, but look at how well we took that with the Snow defense boost. It actually did a bit more damage, but with Aurora Veil and Snow, we were able to tank it. And now we do threaten the Freeze Dry. So I think my play to win the game always is just to go for a Icy Wind into the Calyrex. I could go for double Blizzard, or I could go for Freeze Dry. Blizzard does a lot to Urshifu. I mean, a lot to Urshifu. Trying to think about what my optimal game plan is for guarantee winning this. Double Blizzard, I don't know if it knocks out Cali, actually. Cali is a really bulky mon. I think I'm going to just go for a Freeze Dry. And you know what? I'm going to Icy Wind attempt the Cali. They go for Protect, so this might be double Protect, which is fine. Or this might be Urshifu trying to take the KO. They go for Detect, which is fair. All right. Beautiful. All right, so the game is 100% still losable because crits are still a factor in this end game. Crits are 100% a factor in this end game. I kind of wish I locked the Urshifu into Aqua Jet earlier. That's my regret. I think Encore was 100% the right play there. Yeah, I should have went for the Encore into Urshifu because I would have been able to Freeze Dry it the next turn. And then I would have locked it up with Dark Urshifu in the back. So that was a bit of a blunder there. I will go for a Freeze Dry and Urshifu. And I'm just trying to Icy Wind so I can set up my Dark Urshifu back. Now, we do have Aurora Veil. We have an Assault Vest on the Kyurem-White. So we should tank the Astral Barrage with both Pokemon realistically, I'd assume. Ninetales has really good special defense. I think the only problem is if Urshifu gets a double Protect, but they didn't go for the double Protect, so I should just win off this. Assuming Let's see. Oh my good. That is my fault for not encoring the Urshifu into Aqua Jet. That actually KO'd my Ninetales? I mean, it's... You might be thinking, James, isn't this still very winnable? Kinda. So the problem is I kind of have to play a mind game with the Urshifu. If it's Aqua Jetting, I don't know if Aqua Jet into Astral Barrage KOs me. This is +1 Terra Go single target. I do have Veil up. I think it's still my best odd to close combat the Urshifu regardless. Because close combat will KO the Urshifu. He did Aqua Jet though. I should have Wicked Blowed. I should have Wicked Blow. I knew it. Let's see if we can tank it. I don't think we can. We have Aurora Veil and we resist it, but it's still freaking Cali. Why'd you crit me on that one turn? Yeah, that's my fault. Encoring the Urshifu and Aqua Jet was just super safe. That's just my fault. I mean, I could have Wicked Blowed to Cali, but if they do decide to go for a close combat instead, as I Wicked Blowed, then I lose. So that was a 50-50 there. But I had a better turn that I could have just went for with Encoring. Because Aurora Veil, it didn't help at all in the end game when I'm getting crits. Even with my Assault Vest and the Aurora Veil. Didn't matter. All right, let's go over to games. In game 1, Primarina was really strong at taking the Calyrex Ice Glacial Lances while setting up Calm Minds. Falling into the wide guard going for Moonblast might have been safer, and going for a possible Terra Fairy with Kyurem against a close combat were two plays that could have been better, but getting the Urshifu knockout sealed the game. In game 2, Snow was very strong with multiple ways to set up Snow that allowed me to throw off strong blizzards under Tailwind and not have to fear the Groudon. Should have considered a possible Clear Amulet or Covert Cloak on the Gouging Fire and went for a double Blizzard with Ninetales in the end instead of that Icy Wind play that I did make. In game 3, Aurora Veil was very greedy in this game where I could have went for it the next turn. Encore locking the Urshifu gave me better chance to lock up the game if it was Assault Vest Rillaboom that could live one Blizzard, but since it was a guaranteed win because it did go down. Overall, Kyurem-White, really strong option. I think it is a sleeper pick. It does do a lot and has even more coverage with this, with options for Fusion Flare and just really strong Draco Meteors or Dragon Pulses in general. I think it has some pretty good niches. The only thing is it doesn't resist Calyrex Ice Rider. If this thing resisted Calyrex Ice Rider, would be fantastic, but it does help out against the Rillaboom's pretty decent into Incineroar. Can hit Water Urshifu combos like the Amoonguss. It's really good against a lot of support Pokemon because Ice is really fantastic coverage. So really nice option there. And yeah, Primarina, not too bad. Just a bulky water type that's able to set up against the Calyrex Ice Rider. Punishes switches for Incineroar because of the spread Hyper Voice. Not a bad mon in the format. If you do want to check out the details of the team and the creator, they'll be linked in the description down below. If you'd like to try out the team, hopefully the code is still available, but it is on your screen currently. And of course, subscribe to the channel for more VGC content as always.